homemaker. Homemaking is my thing. I'm Hervie the homemaker. Hi, fellas. Put your rolling floor jacks away. We're talking autonomous, automated, self-driving motor vehicles today. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, hell's bells and double-barrel shotgun shells, Hervie. I think that's really too bad how all those robot cars put all those Uber drivers out of work. But then again, all those Uber drivers put all those taxi cab drivers out of work. So I guess it's just a case of karma, spelled C-A-R-M-A. You know what I mean? That's a good point. You may have that. However, what I was referring to more specifically was something on a much bigger, heavier duty, grander scale. That's right. I'm talking about automated, self-driving, robot tractor-trailer rigs. Now, hold on, I know what you're thinking. 18-wheeler, cab-over, diesel semi. I just spent $1,850 getting my CDL Class A cross-country 18-wheeler truck driving license because I lost my job down at the coal plant, and now you're telling me some robot's going to take my job away? Well, fine, fair enough. That CDL license is one valuable piece of paper, not just because it makes you legal to go down the road pulling a double bobtail, but the knowledge that comes with it that you had to learn to be able to get it in the first place. It was kind of a case of self-defeating success. You say, now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Hervie, what in the rusty hubcap does that mean? Well, I'll tell you. They needed so many truck drivers, reliable, healthy truck drivers, and there wasn't enough of them, so somebody said, well, you know, I'm wondering if we could get a machine to drive one of these trucks. Then with that, it'd solve our problem right off. I mean, we got machines making the trucks. Why can't we have machines driving the trucks? So that's what they did. They went out and figured out how to do it. And I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Well, actually, it is a bad thing to put 75,000 people out of work just so a bunch of guys can make money off the robots. But now, hold on. I ain't saying it's going to happen today or tomorrow, but we all know how technology has affected everybody's lives across the country. Now, a lot of jobs went overseas to China. A lot of jobs went across the border to Mexico. But if a fella were to go to those countries, he might just find that those jobs aren't being performed by Chinese fellers or Mexican fellers, but they're being performed by Chinese robots and Mexican robots. And the same thing is happening in North America, Europe, all over the place. What I'm saying is, a man can't go through life pissing and moaning about what things should have been, ought to be. You can't do it. What he's got to do is be proactive and say, well, what in the heck does the future hold for me, and how can I go about getting it? Just like in days of old, when people first started reading and really kind of got hooked on abstract thinking scribbled out on paper, and all those scribes were going to work cranking out all kinds of things for people to read, and then Gutenberg looked at that and said, you know, that's a lot of man hours cranking out all them things to read. I bet a feller could come up with some kind of device that could do a lot of it for him. Copyright history. That's right, technology can equal opportunity if you don't let yourself slip behind the curve like on a windy mountain road high up in the Rockies in Colorado. That's all iced over. You gotta be ready for it, or else the ass end of that truck's gonna come whipping around off the side of the cliff, and you're gonna hopefully crawl out the window before the whole thing turns into a ball of flame at the bottom of the ravine. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I don't want you to find yourself swabbing out some restroom at a truck stop or working behind the counter as a fry cook, plotting how you're going to blow up some of them robot trucks parked out at the diesel pump. Or, even worse, going outside with your 12 gauge, trying to blow that satellite out of the sky that's telling them what to do. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Hervie, if all them trucks are robots, they ain't going to be needing any food from the fry cook, and they definitely ain't going to be needing the restroom. So what in the heck are you talking about? I'm talking about plastic recycling. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Hervie, are you saying I should get me a shopping cart from somewhere and start going around the neighborhood picking up plastic bottles and taking them down to the recycling center? No. Now, those people do provide a valuable service. They are proactive, and they are doing their best to get by in this world. However, I know that not one job fits all. I'm talking about the much bigger picture, and I'm talking about the actual technology of recycling the plastic in the first place. Now, traditionally, all that plastic that got swooped up by those good Samaritans in their shopping carts and taken down to the recycling center would be all ground up and shredded up and then heated up in little tiny balls, and those balls would be sold to Ford Motor Company or Coca-Cola or whoever, and they would melt them back down and make them into plastic, whatever, bumpers, bottles, you name it. And you can only do that so many times, though, before that plastic loses its structural integrity. What I'm talking about is taking that material down to the molecular level, virgin plastic. That's right, I'm talking chemistry. Now, hold on, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Hervie, I didn't do too good in chemistry in high school. That's why I got the job as the maintenance engineer over at the high school. So you're saying I should be a chemical engineer? No, I am not. What I'm saying is, this new process on the horizon is going to open up an entire explosion, a regular renaissance of plastic recycling. The gold mines of tomorrow are going to be the landfills of today. All that plastic bobbing around in the ocean, and all that plastic we've been shoving it into the ground, people are not going to be able to get enough of it because they finally found the golden goose of true plastic recycling. And then, until next time, this is Hervie the Homemaker saying, go online and learn more about it. I'm Hervie the Homemaker, Hervie the Homemaker. Homemaking is my thing. I'm Hervie the Homemaker. Put your floor jacks away. We're talking autonomous, automated, self-driving motor vehicles today.